Good morning, class. Today, we're going to explore an interesting phrasal verb, bear up. Bear up has several meanings, depending on the context. Let's dive in and discover its different uses. Firstly, bear up can mean to withstand or endure a difficult or challenging situation. It suggests coping with adversity or hardship. For example, despite the loss of her loved one, she managed to bear up and stay strong for her family.
I heard about the recent accident. How is Sarah holding up?
It's been tough for her, but she's trying her best to bear up under the emotional strain.
Losing a family member is never easy. I hope she has a strong support system.
Yes, her friends and relatives are helping her bear up during this difficult time.
In this conversation, Martin inquires about Sarah's well-being after a recent accident. Jane explains that Sarah is going through a challenging time but is doing her best to bear up and remain emotionally strong. The conversation highlights the idea of enduring difficult situations with resilience and support. Can anyone provide another example of bear up in a similar context?
Despite the constant workload and pressure, our team has managed to bear up and meet all the deadlines.
Excellent example, Anna. You've got it. Now, let's move on to the second use of bear up. Bear up can also mean to carry a burden or responsibility without complaining. It suggests accepting a difficult task or duty with patience and fortitude. For example, he was asked to take on extra responsibilities at work, and he's been bearing up remarkably well. Let's see an example of a daily life conversation that demonstrates the use of bear up in the context of taking on extra responsibilities.
I noticed that Michael has been handling multiple projects lately. How is he managing it all?
Surprisingly well. He's bearing up under the added workload and delivering impressive results.
It's commendable that he can take on so much without complaining.
Yes, he's always been known for his ability to bear up under pressure.
In this conversation, Arya inquires about Michael's workload and how he is managing it. David explains that Michael is handling the added responsibilities remarkably well, demonstrating the ability to bear up under pressure without complaints. Can anyone share another example of bear up in a similar context?
The captain of the soccer team has been bearing up the responsibility of motivating the players and leading the team to victory.
Well done, Kevin. You're catching on quickly. Now, let's explore the third use. Bear up can also mean to support or hold up a weight or structure. It suggests carrying or sustaining something physically. For example, the strong pillars bear up the weight of the massive building. Let's see an example of a short daily life conversation that demonstrates the use of bear up in the context of supporting a structure.
Have you seen the newly constructed bridge? Yes, it looks impressive. I wonder how it can bear up the weight of all those heavy vehicles. Engineers have designed it with strong materials and support to ensure its stability.
In this conversation, Ashley and Cora discuss a newly constructed bridge. Person B expresses curiosity about how the bridge can bear up under the weight of heavy vehicles. Person A explains that engineers have used strong materials and support to ensure its stability. Can anyone think of another example of bear up in a similar context?
The massive arches bear up the ceiling of the historical cathedral.
Excellent choice, Amber. You're doing a fantastic job. Now, let's discuss the fourth use of bear up. Bear up can also mean to remain cheerful or optimistic despite challenging circumstances. It suggests maintaining a positive outlook or attitude. For example, even during the difficult times, she managed to bear up and spread positivity around her. Let's see an example of a daily life conversation that demonstrates the use of bear up in the context of remaining cheerful.
I can't believe how cheerful and positive Jane is, even after losing her job.
Yes, she has a remarkable ability to bear up and focus on finding new opportunities.
It's inspiring how she manages to stay optimistic during tough times.
Her positive attitude is contagious and helps others bear up in challenging situations too.
In this conversation, Ellie and Mike talk about Jane's positive attitude despite facing a job loss. Mike mentions that Jane can bear up and concentrate on finding new opportunities. The conversation highlights how a positive outlook can help people endure difficult circumstances. Can you think of another example of bear up in a similar context?
Despite the setback in her career, Emily continues to bear up and actively looks for ways to improve her skills.
Well done, Justin. You've grasped the concept perfectly. That concludes our lesson on the phrasal verb bear up in English. I hope you now have a better understanding of its various meanings and how to use it in different contexts. Remember to practice using bear up in your conversations and written work. Keep up the great work, and see you in our next class.